Hey guys, good morning. I was on a walk the other night and I was jamming with my headphones in, just minding my own business. And I was thinking about gut bacteria and how our gut bacteria controls our hormones, and then our hormones are controlling our thoughts. So I'm just walking, I got my headphones in, music's loud, and then I hear this like yelling outside. So I pulled my little headphone out and I was passing this house with a bunch of cars outside, and there was this man screaming. And I was like, this is so weird because just moments ago, I was thinking about domestic violence within the gut microbiome. And then I'm hearing this man yelling, and I was kind of just praying for him. I was like, I hope whatever, like, I hope this can settle down and the police don't have to get involved because there was really a lot going on. But the gut bacteria cultures that we cultivate in our body are linked to our hormones. They create our hormones, and our hormones also create our thoughts. So these thought loops that we have, these fears that we have, all created by gut bacteria. So what I've been thinking about a lot is time restricted feeding, which is something that I started doing a long time ago. Time restricted feeding is like a fasting technique, but it's not fasting. Time restricted feeding is just becoming aware of the hours that you are eating within and consolidating that window. So if I'm used to eating from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., that's a lot of time that my body is using energy going toward the digestive processes. What time restricted feeding does is it crunches that window down really small. So I like a window between 12 and 8. And the reason it's not fasting is because you're not restricting your calories by any means, and it's like a daily process. So you're not like going to the extreme and going completely without. All you're doing is cutting that window down. For me, years ago, what this did was when I was tracking my Oura Ring stuff, my Oura Ring data, it was allowing my body to rest a lot more deeply at night. But also, the bad bacteria that insulin resistance. If you want to look into a book or a doctor, Dr. David Perlmutter, he wrote that book Brain Maker, but he's also got YouTube videos out as well. So go check him out. The gut bacteria that are negative, they typically have like a shorter shelf life. And so they are the ones that are constantly producing these cravings. And when you just tell them no for a short period of time, the good bacteria goes to war. There's a domestic violence, a war within the gut. They fight for resources. So all bacterial cells very primal. You know, if you think about yourself and your primal needs, food and reproduction, food and sex, that all bacterial cells do, they are concerned with reproduction. And a lot of the ways like with humans are too, except, we've evolved and there's a lot more going on. Some people are stuck in those states where it's all about food and sex. But, there's more to life than that. And so these bacterial cells, they go to war, and the light always wins. Those stronger bacterial cells, they usually have a longer shelf life. So when they're not getting their constant fix, and this is going to compile into addiction. If you look at what addiction is it's a constant need to go outside of myself. I need something outside of myself. It's involved with dopamine pathways. Something outside of myself to make myself feel more at ease on the inside. So when we go through those periods of going without just for longer periods of time, it allows the system to go through cleansing and repair. And those bad bacteria, they're parasitic. So when they're not getting what they need, they will literally just die out. And these stronger bacteria, they will win the war, domestic violence, but like in a good way, what I'm saying? So that's what I was thinking about, and that was what happened the other night. And I thought it was kind of amazing because it was like, wow, I was thinking about this scenario, and then like synchronistically outside of myself it happened. Carl Jung talks about synchronicities and us being connected with the outside world. I really believe, our gut microbiome is shaped by everything that's in the environment. Our genetic expression, if you look at the picture of the cell, the nucleus is shaped by the environment that the cell is surrounded with. So If I have a lot of mitochondria, I'm making a lot of money, a lot of cellular currency. If I don't have, if my system is overstressed all the time, which we typically are, I'm going to produce fatigue. I'm going to feel like I never have enough of what I need. I'm not going to rest at night, so I'm going to continue to wake up in the morning feeling so exhausted, even though I slept for 8 to 9 hours. You know, my body's not going to this deep rest. So years ago when I started doing this time restricted feeding, where I'm not cutting my calories at all, just becoming conscious of the hours that I'm eating, and my body started resting so much better. Of course, my skin changed. All these things change. Your muscle mass changes. It can help with insulin sensitivity, of course, because the gut bacteria is all linked up together with that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because, like, a lot of people are struggling. And, like, I feel like it doesn't have to be that hard. When we think about, we have this, like, outdated view of, like, I want my body to change. I want my whole life to change. So we have this idea that, like, we have to do more. I should be doing this. I shouldn't be doing this. That's just like the ego speaking, and that's our gut bacteria, our thoughts, our hormones, all being controlled by something that is like, they say you don't have to bang on the door to heaven. And if heaven is states of nervous system composure in the body, which I believe they are, some people are stuck in hell, right? And it's a constant state of rigidity and tension and not feeling like anything is enough. And then some people are in heaven where it's all good, everything's all good, you're peaceful, you're in a state of calmness, you know. Heaven on earth and hell on earth, I think that those things exist. But they say you don't have to bang on the doors of heaven because, like, you're already there, you know. Same thing what they say with forgiveness. It's like, you think there's things in your life, there's people in your life that need to be corrected and fixed. And like A Course in Miracles, it talks about, it's like we're already, the moment that you ask for forgiveness, the moment that you ask for something, it's already been given to you. You know, it's just a matter of realizing that it's already there. So not banging on the doors of heaven is just working smarter sometimes, you know, letting the body rest a little bit longer, going into the sun, you know. Maybe you don't have to go to the gym for hours at a time. Maybe you don't have to cut out all these bad habits and shovel all this protein and all this food. Now, look, I'm a fan of the protein and the fats. We literally live and survive off of protein and fat, particularly. So it's so important. You know, you look at the backbone of all of our steroid hormones, those hormones that keep us strong, testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, all of these hormones that regulate our systems, made from fat, you know, made from cholesterol. So important to get these foods in so that the system can feel like it has of what it needs, and we're feeding those good bacteria. But, you know, what if we just let it be easy? You know, take your foot off the gas. You know, you don't have to slam on the brakes to slow everything down. You can just let your foot off the gas, coast a little bit, and just, like, you know, not bang on the door to heaven, because it's already open. You already got the keys. That's what it is. It's like, I already got the keys, you know. So anyway, that's what I've been thinking about. I've also been eating raw garlic every now and then, and they say garlic is one of, like, the best probiotics, you know. So I'm like, you look at all the supplement industry. The supplement industry has become the new pharmaceutical industry, all the peptides, everything like that, right? And then you have everything inside your body, and Mama Nature makes everything. So be conscious too, like, am I spending more money than I need to on stuff that is like Mama Nature puts in whole form in a lot better, more bioavailable forms, you know? Garlic is a very powerful, garlic, onion, all these foods, there's powerful medicines. And, like, hundreds of years ago, we didn't have all these autoimmune issues. We didn't have, you know, people were healthier, a lot healthier. And, like, why was that? Did they have all these probiotics and supplements? No, they didn't. And those things can get costly. I know from my personal experience, like, I'm not against supplements. I am for education on what the supplement is, where does it come from. I am for knowledge of the body first and foremost, knowledge of where does this supplement come from in food form. And I'm a fan of economic efficiency, because the whole body runs on cellular currency. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Why is it the powerhouse of the cell? Because it produces the most energy in the body. So we get hooked on things outside of ourselves. Oh, Rachel, what do you think about NAD? I heard NAD can help boost our energy production in the cell. Where does NAD come from? B vitamins. Where are the B vitamins coming from? Animal-based proteins. That's beautiful, right? Because I can go make myself a little bit of eggs, or I can go make myself a steak, and like I've gotten all my B vitamins, not just the compounds, the precursors for NAD. I've gotten tons of B vitamins. I've gotten tons of amino acids, which create all of these vitamins, the minerals and nutrients. I've gotten zinc, selenium, taurine, carnitine, methionine, lysine. I've gotten so much more than what I've spent on this tiny little bottle, this tiny little supplement. I've gotten so much more. And that's so beautiful, right? Like, let it be easy. You don't have to bang on the gates of heaven, because you are already there. So anyway, trying to remember that myself. I just want to remind you that we don't see ourselves accurately. We see ourselves as a body. When we go look in the mirror, we see ourselves as a body. We call ourselves me and I. But there, we are made of trillions and trillions of tiny little factories, tiny cells. And within the gut bacteria alone, there's another trillion of bacterial cells that are either working for us or working against us. So just remember that you are so much more than we always consider ourselves to be. You're so beautiful and gorgeous. There's nothing in the world, no comment, no remark from anyone who can diminish that inner beauty and intelligence that was given to us, gifted to us. And so I love you so much, and I wish you the best of luck.